Hello there and welcome. My name is Linda and this is my channel Linda T70. It's really good to have your company today. Thank you if you're a returning viewer, and if you've just found my video, hope you enjoy it and watch my other videos and come back to see me again. Now, today's video is a bit different for me. I thought I'd do some cooking for you. If you've seen my last couple of videos, you'll know that I ventured to, I went to Lakeland and I bought a pie dish, and basically I wanted to, I've got some different dishes I wanted to cook and I thought I'd share them with you. They're nothing special. I bought a pie dish because I want to make a chicken and leek pie. I bought two replacement pans. I went to Asda this morning with my daughter. That was nice to have some company while shopping, and my granddaughter, and looked in their sort of homeware bit, and I wanted a couple of these Scoville pans, you know, the ones that are virtually, you know, well, they say nothing sticks to them. I'm sure I can prove that wrong, but we'll have to wait and see. Now, I've already got one that I use quite frequently, but I wanted two different sizes, so I've gone for I think it's a 23 and a 28 centimetre pan. They're both Scoville branded, but they were on offer, you know, in the sale, so there was a few pounds off of them. One of them was £11 and one of them was £12. Now, I know you can buy, I mean, I've spent years going into Asda buying frying pans and saucepans cheaply, but it's like, you know, you buy cheap and you buy twice very often, don't you, with something. So I thought I'll invest in a couple more of these, and then I can get rid of the ones that I don't really, they're just basically falling apart. And I also bought another little flan. Well, the thing I bought from Lakeland yesterday, at the weekend, sorry, was this, which was £14. So that I'm going to put my chicken pie in that, and I don't know if I'll use this one today. This is just a flan dish, but I thought, yeah, I mean, I'm not going to do any desserts, but I thought that might be quite useful for future cooking things. Now, the first thing I've got to say is I'm so sorry about the light in this kitchen. I've got a really small house, I've got a really small kitchen, and my kitchen's at the front of the house and it faces north, and it's not a particularly sunny day today, but wherever I've tried my camera it looks like I'm in a light box. It's just ridiculous. So I really hope you can see what I'm doing. Before I get into all that though, I just wanted to say thank you ever so much for everybody that's commented about my little dog who was poorly. I did have a bit of a rant about emergency vet rates on my last video, and I don't know, I really don't see how it's justified to charge such huge amounts of money. I know there are, there used to be Blue Cross and Medivet, and I know that some people use those. But when I got my first dog, that was the first time I'd had a dog in my adult life. So you just go to the local vet, and you know, they're fine, they're all right. Got no real complaints about them. But even them, I'm not going to go on about this again. But even then, the consultation fee used to be 35 quid. And I checked, because I've been 3 times in the last 3 weeks. I checked the other day and they're now £60. I mean, why? Why is the consultation fee that much? Anyway, let's just let it go. Let it go, Linda. Can't do anything about it. And thank you for asking about my dog. She is a lot better now, thank you. So I'm pleased about that. But it's very kind of you to ask. So today the first thing I'm going to make is a frittata, so basically a sort of a Spanish type omelette with a load of stuff in it. So that'll be nice with a salad. I've got in mind to make a chicken and leek pie, and also probably a lasagna. So I'm not trying to tell you how to cook. I know all of you, I'm sure, are better cooks than I am. I don't make any claims to being any good at any of this, but I just thought I'll show you what I'm doing because I bought some cooking stuff. I have to cook anyway. I've got to make meals for people. So I thought I'd just bring you along with me on that. I'm really hoping that the light's not... It's like, honestly, it's like it's really dark in here now. I've got a light over the cooker and that's it. So I'm really just hoping you can see. As I say, I've been all around the kitchen with this flipping tripod trying to get a good angle and I just can't. So I don't know how everybody does this. I really don't. I've even brought my little table in, my little YouTube table, and put in front of my, I've got like a sort of a thingy, tabley bit here. Just a little table for the two of us, and I brought my YouTubing table in, but even that's so bright. Anyway, I'm going to try and let's see how this goes. If it's really rubbish, I'll have to think of something else to talk about and put my next video out instead of this. But anyway, if you just bear with me and we'll see how we go. I'll see you in a bit. Okay, so I hope you can see I've got some baby potatoes that I sliced and I boiled, so they're nice and soft. I've had a few of these, one of these mixed bean salad things, and some of the beans are left from the can, so I'm going to use those. I've got some tomatoes that my neighbour gave me from her allotment, some mushrooms and some chopped up peppers. Now, I'm all for a very easy life, so there's a lot of shortcuts I make in cooking because, frankly, it's a bit boring. So I've got some frozen peas and I've got some frozen onions, and I'm going to put those in the pan first to get them going. Now, obviously, you use, if you like, I mean, obviously if you don't like eggs or you're allergic to eggs, this is a no-no anyway. But if you like this sort of thing, you can just shove anything in it, honest to God. I'm going to put a little bit of sage and thyme in. If you want something a little bit spicier, you know, you can put anything in. I'm also going to add some feta. I want to use this bit of feta up, so I'm going to put that in as well towards the end. So I'll show you the next step, if you can call it a step. So I'm going to use this smaller pan because I want this to be, it's going to be cooked in there and finished off in the oven. So this is the size of the frittata that I want. If you want a massive one for loads of people, get a bigger pan. If you want, and you know, if you've got a smaller pan, you know, it doesn't really matter, does it? Now, I don't know if this is the way everybody makes these things. It's just the way I do it because it makes sense to me. But, you know, as I say, I'm not pretending to be any sort of cook here. I just have spent most of my life feeding people. So there we go. So I'm going to turn the gas on. I've put my oven on to heat up, so you might be able to hear that in the background. Sorry if you can. By the way, I was looking for a butter dish the other day, if you remember, because this is the size of my butter, which is a, I think it must be, yeah, 500 gram size. And I saw this in Asda, and I thought I might as well buy this because it fits perfectly. And it's got a little lid, and I think it was £2, something like that. It didn't cost much anyway. So again, if you don't like things like butter, don't put it in, use something else. I'm going to put a knob of butter in. Hope you can see what I'm doing. I should move this down a bit, sorry. So that's going to melt. Right, I'm going to add, these are sliced red onions. You can put spring onions in, you know, you don't really need me to tell you this. As many as you want. That's going to be enough, but it's only really for the two of us. Right, so just going to let those cook for a minute or two. Move this out of the way. I really hope you can see this all right. Get my stirry thing. think this is Sainsbury's own branded butter, and I think it's probably got a higher water content than the posher butters, but it's okay, works for me. Right, so I'm just going to chuck stuff in. I'm also going to add some garlic granules because I could put ordinary garlic in. I've got some garlic paste. I don't bother buying it to crush it up, can't be bothered with the washing up. So I'm just going to start chucking these things in. So I'm going to put the frozen peas in first, just a few. Yeah, like that. Then basically all of this is going in. This is going to be a very vegetable-y frittata. Okay. I'm going to put some garlic, what did I say, garlic granules in to taste. Not too much. A new bottle of thing of thyme, here we go. I don't know, that much, I don't know, just to taste. And oh, we've only got that much sage left, so that'll do. Now this will all cook down. I'll put some pepper in using my new salter pepper thingy bob. I hope you can see. I think I'm just going to actually put this on the higher heat. I'll do that. So yeah, so basically I put onions, frozen peas, some of these little peppers, some tomatoes, some potatoes, was that it? There's loads in there, so that's going to be a nice vegetable-y frittata. Did I say mushrooms? Obviously mushrooms. So we'll come back to this in 1 second. Okay, I'm hoping you can see this. So basically everything's kind of cooked down a bit. The next thing to do is to add the eggs. So I've already beaten with some ground black pepper. I think I put 6 eggs in this. You can put as many or as few as you want. And this is the dodgy bit. Let's turn the heat down a little bit. So, I mean, it doesn't really matter to me what it looks like, what vegetables you can and can't see, but, you know, I suppose just move them around a bit if you need to. And then tip the egg mixture on top. And then it's a question of, like, when you make an omelette, I just do the whole pull it away from the side thing. Just sort of, well, I don't have to tell you, do I? No, but I'm just doing that to get the egg that's not cooked on the top down to the bottom. I've got all that pepper up my nose, I want to sneeze now. Okay, so it's kind of, I can feel that it's working quite well underneath. Just it takes a little bit of patience. Alright. Obviously we don't want any raw egg, do we? So and then the next thing to do is for, now as I say, I might be doing this all wrong. There might be a better way of doing it, or maybe there's a reason why this, it's always been alright before for me. Now I'm doing it for you, it'd probably go all wrong. But the next thing I do is put it in the oven. So switch that off. Not sure if you can see that. I'm sure you know what the oven is anyway. And then put this in. Right, I'm going to give it 5 minutes. And hopefully it'll be done and I'll come back to you in a minute. Forget to show you the feta. I've just crumbled that and put it on the top, so I'm just going to pop that back in the oven. Right, I've taken it out of the oven. The feta's just beginning to brown on top. The egg's all cooked through now. What I'm going to do is let it cool for a bit because it's obviously really, really hot. And then I'll get it out of the pan and you can see what it's like. Now I'm going to move on to the chicken pie. Now, full disclaimer here, can't be bothered, I nearly said asked, but I won't. Can't be bothered to make pastry. I've tried in my life, can't do it, it just doesn't seem to go right. So I like to think that's why God invented ready roll pastry. So I'm going to be using that. So I shall get the bits together and I'll show you. You remember my Lakeland little pots? I found the spare one I got, the get one free one. I've used it for my flour. So I buy these, do have a big thing of self-raising flour, but I quite like these ones because I don't use enough. I'm not forever baking, so I think it could potentially go off, so it's better for me to have the smaller ones. Although, having said that, I've got an unopened big one of self-raising in the cupboard. I'll have to check the date on that. But yeah, so I'm going to be, they fit nicely in there, so I'm quite pleased with that. I feel quite pleased with myself. So, right, I shall get up the other bits out and I shall show you. Right, so I put it on a plate for you. So it just gives you an idea. It came out of that frying pan really well because I suppose the point of those Scoville pans is that things don't stick. So that was quite good. I will cut a bit up when it's cooled down properly. But it's, I think it looks pretty decent. There's loads and loads of veg in here. I mean, obviously feta's a bit salty. I put black pepper in, I put ground black pepper in the egg, and I put black pepper in with the veg, I think. Did I put salt in? I don't know if I did. I put garlic granules in. So I'm not trying to kid you, this is the best, the most healthy food in the world. But I don't really eat a lot of fruit because I've said before, I find fruit quite disappointing. You get an orange that looks lovely and you taste it and it doesn't really taste of anything very much. But with vegetables, you kind of know where you are. So you've got loads of veg in here. And I think that's going to be really nice with a salad. You could have it with crusty bread, you could have it with, well, anything you like really. So that's number one, and we'll get on to the chicken pie. See you in a sec. Right, for this chicken pie, the first thing I'm doing is I bought some ready diced chicken. It's a lot easier than chopping it up yourself. I sound like I'm ever so lazy, don't I? I'm just frying that off. Sorry. I want to just fry this off before I start to make the other stuff and get this out of the pan, because obviously if you keep chicken in a pan for that too long it just gets a bit tough, doesn't it? I think this is just chicken breast. Well, I know it's chicken breast, so you know what it's like. The chunks are quite big, but I'm thinking it doesn't really matter, does it? Because I think I've put enough in the 2 helpings of pie. Just be me and current husband eating it. So I'm just cooking that off. Then I'll take that out the pan. I put about, I would say, not even a tablespoonful of rapeseed oil. I buy two types of oil. I buy rapeseed and olive oil, that's all. I don't buy anything else that's fancy, and that does me for everything really. Again, no, I'm not a cook, so you might tell me I need to buy something different. But it's bitty because obviously there's always water, isn't there, in the packet. So I've just finished browning this off, and then I'll show you how I'm going to do the saucy bit. Right, I've scooped out the chicken. That'll obviously get fully cooked in the whole process. I put some butter in the bottom of the pan and onions. Oh, do you know what I've done? I thought I won't put onions in because of the leeks, but then I put onions in. I mean, what am I like? So anyway, let's get the leeks in. I've just chopped them up, they were clean, and yeah, just shoved them in there. So onions and leeks. I'm going to put a bit of garlic paste in. I don't know, just a squirt. Doesn't matter really, whatever you think. What do I know? So let's give that all a bit of a stir round. Just to get the leeks and that going. Not very good at cutting leeks up. They always, no matter what method I use, as in, do I hold them this way or do I hold them that way, they kind of go a bit stringy. I can't get clean cuts. But then I think, does it really matter? Who's going to be examining the leeks? Maybe they will, I don't know. Perhaps you wouldn't go in a pub and send your leek and potato pie back because your leeks weren't cut properly, or would you? Who knows? So, right, that's beginning to get nice and heated. Now I cut up some, because I just don't care, I cut up a bit of carrot and I just cooked them for a few minutes with some frozen beans. Chuck that in. So there's loads of veg in here, so you don't need loads of chicken. I really hope this turns out alright, because I've made this loads of times before and it's been absolutely fine. But it's just, when you show somebody else how you do something, it always goes a bit wrong, doesn't it? We've got loads of veg in there. I don't know. Sorry, I keep moving this thing. So what else? So put garlic in, haven't I? Some mushrooms. Stir that all in. I'll put some black pepper in. And a bit of rock salt. The butter I put in is salted, but I'm not entirely sure there's very much salt in it because it's like an own brand. But obviously you don't have to put any of this stuff in, you can put what you like in. Whoops, I was trying to get away. So we've got enough leek in there. I'm just going to cook this down for a couple of minutes and then I'll come back to you. Sorry if when I move this it kind of wobbles, but I keep going down the edge of my worktop. So the next thing I'm going to put in is some flour to thicken everything. I've seen this made and I've done it myself with milk, and I've never bothered putting cream in it, so you get a white kind of gravy sauce, but I'm just going to make it with like a chicken stock, an oxo, that's what I'm going to use. So I think it tastes all right. Depends what you can be bothered with, I suppose. So I'm going to put about a tablespoon of plain flour in, see how this looks. Well, it'll look horrible, but you know what I mean. Maybe a tiny bit more. Obviously this thickens it. Right, so I've got this horrible feeling I've forgotten to put something in. Well, no, I haven't put the chicken in, but a chicken pie with no chicken, that'd be good, wouldn't it? I will put some mustard in. Again, you don't have to. You could put, I did think about putting some chorizo in, but then I thought no, we'll just keep it as this. What about some herbs? What have I got? I've got some rosemary. Oh, don't know. I don't know what will go in there. I don't think we need any. We'll leave it. We'll go naked with the herbs. Right. So, and it's a question of adding there's just boiling water and an chicken oxo cube, two chicken cubes, because I just don't care. And just see how it goes. If I need an emergency thickener, I've got some gravy granules. I've got some emergency gravy granules in the cupboard, but we'll try and manage without. If you were making this with a chicken, leftovers from a chicken, I suppose you could faff about with all that, you know, boiling it up, and I mean, life's too short really, isn't it? A bit more. Right, I'm going to add this, no I'm not, first of all I'm going to add some mustard. Again, don't put it in if you don't like mustard. I buy English mustard, which is obviously, well, I think the hottest, Dijon mustard, and whole grain mustard. Obviously I don't put all of them in this, but because I like them, I do use mustard quite a lot in things I make. So I'm using English for the purposes of this. So, I don't know, a couple of slobs of it. I don't know what the measurement for mustard is. Right, let's get that going. Turn this down. I think I'm going to need some more gravy. But what I'm going to do first now is add the chicken. Now the next thing I do, excuse me, is when this is all as I want it, which it's not far off of that now, I put it in the fridge to cool, because I watched a lady on the telly make a chicken pie once, and she said if you don't want because I want pastry on the bottom and the top, and she said if you want your pastry to crispen underneath the meat, underneath the filling, put cold filling in it. I think that's what she said anyway, so that's what I'm going to try and do. And it will also be a bit thicker when it's been cooled in the fridge for a while. So let's just move some of this. I don't think I've forgotten anything. I don't think I'll be getting a job on this morning, do you? So if you can kind of see the consistency, I mean there's loads of stuff in there, there's loads of veg, and I don't ever really follow anything that requires a recipe. I just use what I've got when I've got it. So I'm now going to put this into a receptacle, wash up and let this cool. So I'll tell you what I was going to do. I was going to make my kind of my take on paella, which isn't really paella, but I like to call it that. It's obviously a risotto rice based thing. Excuse me. And I put, oh dear, excuse me. Sorry. And I put some chicken in it and some seafood and whatnot, and mix it all together, and we quite like to eat it. And I was going to do that, but the only thing with that is you have to make it and then eat it, and it's probably not very conducive to my timetable for doing filming while I'm making a meal that we've got to eat straight away. So the other thing I was going to show you was lasagna. Now I know everyone knows how to make lasagna, but you know, what else have you got to do just other than watch me do all this? So I should be back in a minute. Right, I've done all the washing up for the previous two dishes, all by myself with no help from anyone. And I bet you're asking yourself, well Linda, why don't you have a dishwasher? Well, I'll tell you, I don't want one. I used to have a dishwasher for quite a number of years, and I really wasn't that fussed about it. You know, there's sort of things in life you don't like doing. Well, I've got a really big list of those things, but washing up was never really on the list. It doesn't particularly bother me. I mean, it's a bit of a thing at Christmas, or you know, when we've had a party or something, and I think I'm going to buy paper plates, I'm going to, you know, whatever. But there's still always tons of stuff to do, and sometimes current husband helps me out. He's becoming a bit more trained to help me with drying up. I won't let him wash up. I don't know if you're like that. You're a little bit sort of fussy about how, or I don't know what it is really, because you know, everyone's able to clean a fork, aren't they? But some people just don't do it very well. So anyway, I don't have a dishwasher, and I think it causes just as many arguments as the washing up does, because you know, it's, oh, load up the dishwasher, have you cleaned your plates properly, have you put things in right, you know, and then it's, well, who's going to empty the dishwasher? It's your turn, and it's just not really much fun. So I just do it as I go, and generally speaking there's two of us, so it's not that bad. When we had 5 of us living here, or 6 of us at one point, well, even then I didn't really like having a dishwasher. So when we did current husband did our kitchen, I said, just don't bother with a dishwasher, I'd rather have something else, I'd rather have some extra cupboards. So anyway, there you go. You didn't ask, but I told you. So the filling for the pie is still chilling in the fridge. I've done the frittata. I mean, I call it a frittata. It's not really a tortilla, is it? Because no. Anyway, so the next thing is lasagna, and the first thing I'm going to do is a white sauce. So again, I've got to remind you, I'm no cook. I just do stuff the way I do it. You might have a much better and a much nicer way of doing it. I'd be interested to know, actually. I mean, I don't want you slagging off my tortilla or anything. But if you think, well, actually, the way I do it is this, I'd be interested to know. I mean, I haven't watched any of this video back yet, all the different bits where I've stopped and started, so God knows what it's like. I don't know whether you can see what I'm doing. I mean, I can see that there's a load of light in this room, and I just don't know what people do. I did open that blind while I was washing up, but I don't think, hang on. I don't think that makes much difference, or maybe it does a bit. Does it make a blind bit of difference? Oh, get it? Anyway, so yes, I'm going to do this lasagna, and the good thing about doing this for you today is I've done 3 meals for the next 3 days, and I don't have to do them you know, after today, so that's brilliant. I'm using some frozen stuff again. You don't have to take any notice of anything I'm doing, but you know, I'm doing it for your benefit, not for your benefit, for your not enjoyment, that's the wrong word, isn't it? Just so you see what I do anyway. So the first thing is my white sauce. So now I could buy that, I could buy a jar of it, and I bought that before when I've been in a hurry, but I don't really think they taste of anything. So, and I kind of feel a bit more nearer to God if I do something myself. So I'm just trying to move my camera so you can, I wish I hadn't moved this again. Right, hope you can see that. We're on a cliff edge here, I can tell you, you could go at any minute. So I have got some beef mince, some pork mince. I don't know when it is we all decided we needed 2 sorts of mince in lasagna, but I've kind of gone with the flow on that. I've got some frozen sliced onions, as I keep saying. Who can be bothered to slice onions? And I've got this stuff, which I shove in sometimes, which is char-grilled Mediterranean vegetables. Buy those from Sainsbury's. And you've got, in here you have aubergine, courgette, red and yellow peppers, cherry tomatoes, red onion, in a basil and garlic dressing. I don't add any more garlic to the recipe. I don't think you need to really, but if you want to put a load of garlic in, please do so. If you don't want these vegetables, don't put them in. I quite often use I'll show you, hold on. Hello, Bo, you alright? Because you're supposed to chop up celery and stuff for these things, aren't you? And I don't really buy celery because I'm not mad keen on it. But I've got a few little mixed veg left, so I'll probably chop that in. But anyway, let's start with the sauce. Hopefully you can see that. I mean, we all know what goes in it, don't we? So, butter. Oh. A little, I don't know, I suppose there's a measurement, but I don't know, I'll just put it in. That's probably enough. Just let that melt. I need my balloon whisk. Now, I've never made this and it's been lumpy, and I'm thinking today's going to be the day it's lumpy, isn't it? Anyway, get some cheese out. Oh, Tina from Tina's Talk Time, she's really good at doing these cooking videos, isn't she? She makes all sorts of stuff, doesn't she? Lots of baking and cakes and things. I know a lot of people do. I found a chap on YouTube called The Backyard Chef. I don't know why I'm not doing that. There we go. And he's British. He sounds like he's from somewhere up north. And he makes all sorts of things you think, and they're really quite easy. And he made a sausage pie. But what it was you know, like a shepherd's pie with the mince and the potato on top. If you come from another country and have never heard of a shepherd's pie, no shepherds are hurt in the making of that. But he just cooked up sausages and chopped those up and put those in. And I tried that and it was really nice. Right, so butter's melted. Let's get some flour in. There we go. So, kind of 1.5 teaspoons of flour, just plain flour. I've got out of my container that I've just bought. Sorry if this is noisy. So we obviously make our roux. Have to make your teeth go on edge, isn't it? They always say you have to cook this out, don't they? So it doesn't, you can't taste the flour. But I've never found out how long you have to cook it for, so I'm just winging it really. Alright, that'll have to do. Let's put the milk. I'm just using skimmed milk. Chuck a bit in. I mean, if you like these cooking videos, I mean, I know that there's nothing funny to tell you about, well, unless it all catches fire or something. You know, let me know and I'll do more. But I mean, I don't really, I could do some baking, I suppose, but I don't know, it's kind of, I don't know whether it's whether it's the right thing for my channel. I'm trying to do different things so you don't get bored. And there's only so many try-on hauls you can do. But, well, we'll see how we go with this one anyway. If it's all rubbish, I'll probably delete it and I'll have to find something else to do on my video. I think I might actually add a bit of mustard to that. Just because I can, and I might go in with a bit of whole grain. At least you won't be able to taste the uncooked flour, will you? I don't know, I'll just keep going till it sort of gets to the consistency I want. I haven't put any garlic in it. Don't think I need to. I will put a bit of cheese in though in a minute. Just make sure there's none stuck around the edge. I really am sorry about this noise. I'm sure if you've made a white sauce before you'll know, but you can't really avoid it, can you? Right. A bit more milk. Just put the oven on. I basically stick everything on at 200. Are you like that? You just use one setting? Well, unless it specifically tells me not to. I put most things on at that temperature. Right. I know about also, there might be some people out there going, you could easily grate your cheese. And I said that for years. I called everybody with grated cheese lazy. But I am now one of them, so... Because you have to clean out your grater, don't you? And you never quite, oh, I don't know. I mean, I think if you're like my age, so I'm 70, and I know a lot of you that watch me, a lot of you folk, you're kind of similar age to me. We've been doing all this stuff for years, haven't we? We deserve a rest, don't we? So, just a little bit of grated cheese in there and melt that down. I don't always put these things in, but I thought, well, to hell with it. And I do like cheese, very fond of cheese. Okay, so we're nearly finished with this, and it's just on to making the meat sauce. Right, just a little bit more milk. So what have I used? What's this? 2 pints. Well, I've used the best part of a pint in there. Oh, take cover. Okay. Right. So leave that for now. That's all right. So I'm going to start this meat sauce. To cook off the frozen veg, I will put a bit of olive oil in. Do you know, this video must be going on for hours? Oh God, sorry. And right, to save time of you just watching me do not very much, I'm going to add this stuff to that and I'll come back to you. I've added some to my meat sauce, some tomatoes, some puree, a teaspoonful of sugar, helps the medicine go down, and some oregano and a little bit of rosemary. I don't know why I added rosemary, but we'll see. Again, I'm not a cook, not telling you a recipe, this is just chucking stuff in, literally chucking stuff in. So it's now, I also added, did I say, some water, 3/4 of a can of water as well. So that's all just cooking down now. And then I'll come back to you when I'm putting it all together, if you've stayed with me this long. Thank you. Right, this lasagna is ready to go in the oven now. I spared you the other business. What I buy is, I buy these fresh lasagna sheets because I find, now am I missing something here with those dried ones? Because if you haven't got a very square dish, which I don't, mine's got round edges, you have to kind of get the bits of lasagna to fit into the shape, don't you? So you can put the sauce on it. And you sort of try and break a bit off and then it all pings all over the place. So I don't know if I'm just being a bit thick with it, but I just buy these ready. They're you know, you can cut them. Basically I cut them with a pair of scissors to fit my dish. So I've got 2 layers of meat sauce in there. I have put 2 layers on top of each layer, obviously some lasagna and some the white sauce that's got the mustard in it, and I've just put some cheese on the top. So I'm going to put that, it looks a bit of a mess from this side, doesn't it? But oh well, we can but try. So I'm going to put this in the oven and I'll show you it when it's finished. Right, I've finished everything now. I've done the pie, the lasagna and the frittata, whatever, tortilla frittata. I will turn the camera around and show you. I made a bit of a faux pas with the chicken pie in the end. I knew something would go wrong. I bought puff pastry. No, I bought, sorry, short crust pastry instead of puff pastry, which is what I wanted. And I didn't notice until I'd taken it out of the oven. And also the pastry didn't quite fit the dish, so I had to improvise a bit with, so it looks a bit of like it's been dropped on its head. But anyway, and I will try, and I don't know which one we're going to eat first or anything, but I will try and show you what they actually look like when I cut them open. I'm so sorry this has been a long video. I hope it's been all right. You can, I mean, if obviously people will skip through most of this, I'm sure. But thank you so much for sticking with me. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you again on the next video, and you take care now. Bye bye. Okay, so that's the pie in its snazzy pie dish. As I say, you know, the pastry was too small, so I had to kind of, well, you can see. It's come away from the side all right. I did put some greaseproof paper in the bottom, so I'm not entirely sure if that's helped or hindered, but anyway, as I said before, I will show you how that looks. And then of course you've got the lasagna and the frittata. Current husband's just come home and he's quite bedazzled that I've done all this afternoon. Anyway, I'm going to go now. Again, apologies for the long video. I'm sure it must be about 5.5 hours, and I will see you very soon. Take care. Bye bye.